Lakeland PBS presents Common Ground, brought to you by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota. Production funding of Common Ground is made possible in part by First National Bank Bemidji, continuing their second century of service to the community. Member FDIC. Welcome to Common Ground. I'm producer-director Scott Knudsen. In this special Moving Lives Minnesota episode of Common Ground, we visit with immigrant and entrepreneur Fortuna Alexander. She's the owner of FAH Tea, and she and her family talk about her immigrant experience.
Whole bag. This is a bag that is full of beautiful clothes that I think this lady is over 80 that made this for the little kids at the orphanage. Isn't it beautiful? This is just 25% of the things that she made. So these ones are going to Africa this week. Look at these comforters. She made them, pray over them. So nice. When you want to be a little girl wearing this. So these are some of the things that Minnesotans do, you know, that is so nice. And this is a native Minnesotan that did this.
Oh, FAH Tea is an amazing business that she works tirelessly on. Day in and day out, crack of dawn, she's up out in the streets delivering tea. People love her. It's amazing what she's done from coming all the way from Africa here and starting her own business and for it to grow to this amount.
I help my mom brew the tea. I help her with farmers markets. I help her distribute the tea, so we go to other businesses, places of work.
Like right now, the plan is for the tea that we're going to have a percentage of the tea go for an orphanage that my parents thought of in Africa since my mom was an orphan. We're planning on helping kids back in Africa. So we went there in 2016, and we saw a lot of kids who were homeless, not going to school because of the Ebola outbreak in 2014. And we're planning on helping them through that way.
So FAH Tea helps back in Africa. First of all, we buy a lot of the tea from Africa and Senegal and Nigeria and places like that. Also, my mom is right now trying to build an orphanage in Liberia because she was an orphan as well, and she knows that having a place where people can care for you is so big in a child's life, and she just wants to give back by doing that. And a percentage of the proceeds from this tea will go back to help with that project.
The tea helps benefit children back in Africa because, you know, our country is not a country of a lot of means. So with her opening the orphanages and then having the beverage out, the children have something to drink on. They have something to rely on food-wise and all of that. And I think that's amazing that she has done that. Her heart is so big on giving that she wants to give back. Well, her being a orphan herself, and both of us were adopted by our parents, her whole thing is to give back to where she came from.
During the farmer market season, we get the cassava leaf. And this is the other product, the cassava itself. That's it there. You can see it. This is not a cup though. I just put it here for freshness.
Fortuna is my sister. We were both adopted by our parents, Alberta and David Howard.
You know, it's important for people to know where the food comes from. I used to take our sons, me and my husband, our 4 boys, to Ingrove Grove in Minnesota. There's a farm there. They kill the cow. You choose your goat or your chicken, and to go there. It was fun, but the boys didn't like it.
My name is Ethan Alexander. I'm Fortuna Alexander's son and Franklin Alexander's son. I'm the youngest of 4 brothers.
Once every year, because we used to do it once a year with like 4 different families, we would take them there, and it smelled horrible because of the goat. We'll have volunteer tears coming down from the stench from the goat, but they will go there and be like, I'm not eating these things again. And we're predominantly immigrants. Yeah. And if you see an American, they marry an immigrant.
Hello, my name is Brian Alexander. I am Fortuna's son, the owner of FAH Tea.
So they got to know early on that, where the food came from. Even when we lived in Ohio, Wilmington, Ohio, it was a rural area. And they used to go on the farm, pick strawberries, or play with the horses, or see how the different hill process is made, and done for the cows to be able to eat during the winter.
My mother was born in Liberia. Same thing with my dad. So
I think it's a huge difference between, first generation Americans who have immigrant parents and then children of parents who have been here for a couple of generations or even since the beginning. I think there's a different mindset. A lot of immigrants come here and know that, you have to work hard, and an immigrant child like myself would, even though I'm born here, knows that, hey, I can't let my parents' work go in vain by not being successful,
Oh my goodness, my babies are hard workers. My nephews are very hard workers. They're up with her crack of dawn, helping her out when they don't have school.
we don't get to do the exact same stuff that we get to do as our friends. So like, let's say my friend gets to go to Disney World, we go to Africa and stuff like that.
This is boning fish. It have a very nice taste to it. So we just add a good flavor. It's from Africa. And this little flavor and little pack, you see, it's $5. It give a very nice flavor to the food. Besides, it's fish, and fish is good for your brain. So most African will always eat fish. And then I have grilled chicken. I say I smoke it myself because of my parents, they can have fried food. So we smoke it a whole, yeah. And then there's another interesting one. This one is crayfish. It's smoked shrimp. Let me find one with the head. So when I'm cooking it, this is how it's going to be, but it's smoked. And then don't forget the stockfish. So this is a stockfish. It's hot though, but you can check it out. It got a little older to it, but it's very good. It is made in Holland, and I think Africans eat it more.
I feel like the difference is getting smaller and smaller each year with new generations and stuff like that.
So this is Manioc Leaves. We eat it in West Africa, especially in Liberia. And it is imported from where? It should be imported from Liberia. And this company carry it in their African grocery store in Brooklyn Park. Yeah. So 3 of this pack is $10. And it can feed us about 2 or 3 times this one pack. Yeah. And normally, I do have 3 children that could help me. But if it were Africa, they would be here helping me. But America is reverse. The parents.
That doesn't seem fair.
No.
Being a Minnesotan, I love being a Minnesotan. I was originally born in Ohio, but if you ask me now, I think Minnesota is the place where I want to be. And, I love everything about it. The snow, it's a love-hate relationship, but you gotta like it. The summers are amazing here. And, yeah, I just like everything about Minnesota.
Africa, the children cater to the grown-up, you know, to learn what they are doing. But I don't worry nowadays because the other two went to college and they come home and they are always here trying to see what's cooking so they can know it because they realize they cannot afford to go to the restaurant all the time. The culture demand that they be like they are pampered, except you are forceful. Like my boys, the younger one did the dishes. He always do the dishes. And my little sister would do the dishes too. And then they help clean up. So far, it's only, I believe, since they are African children, so they will try and do that. So this is a chicken.
Is it
Little
like
size.
jerked chicken, kind of?
Yeah, almost like, because it was seasoned and then I put it on the grill and smoked it. And then normally I do a whole case. So then that would take us for just about 2 or 3 months. We did it for winter and it took us through winter. And we're going to do something with the peanut butter. So I will wait till that time. And you see it, that's why I asked you if you could have peanut butter.
Yep, I am not allergic to peanut butter. Are there peanut allergies in Africa?
I think so, but it's not recognized. You know, I always say if you have peanut allergy, you will just die. It's just a matter of when, you know, because almost all our food have peanuts because of the protein. Yeah. I'll put this, put that there. So all we're doing is getting the broth ready. This is Minnesota grown pepper. I get it from the farmer's market. It's a good deal. Always go there. This is the habanero pepper, but we all can take the heat. Yeah. And I like spice. So I have 1 onion I will chop. And my husband also loved to cook. If he were here, he'd be cooking.
Do you two enjoy cooking together?
No. It's better he cooked by himself. He got that joy about cooking. That's a good thing. So the onion, I'll just put it there. This is Magic Cube. Like in America, we all have our seasoning oil and stuff. Yeah, it is Magic Cube. Because it does it. So I get water in there for it to start boiling. So then we put 3 of this Maggi cube in there. So there it is, getting ready to boil. I got to clean it up real good. Once we're done with that, we'll wait for it to come to a boil. And then we will add the cassava leaf in there. We eat rice as well with the cassava leaf, parboiled rice. So the rice, normally this little teacup, we use 3.5. So if we count how much we spend for this food, if that is 3 for $10, and we're just going to use like half of it. And then the chicken and all that, I use half of the, not even half, the bony and then the shrimp, and then the stockfish. Everything was $5. I only use half. Well, it's cheaper to cook from scratch than to eat out. It's good to eat out, but at least every now and then until you get there. But if you're not there, and if even you are there, wherever there is, it's good to have something that you made. That way you appreciate it when you go to the restaurant and stuff like that. So that's the water. And then put it in our American rice cooker pot from Sam's Club. No, we got it from Costco. I'm a Sam's Club girl. My husband is a Costco. So now we got our pot boiling. And now I will mash these because it's not good if you're eating and this is hard. So I'll mash it. I need to boil a little bit more. So now you can smell that nice pepper heat. Okay. Brian, can you please carry this, the other things in the freezer in the garage for me? Okay. So it comes frozen. And that's why I do mine. And I put it there. And once it cooked down a little bit, then I'll take out the other half and send it. There we go. So plantain, you may not think, oh, maybe most Americans might think it, but it's sweet. So it'll be on the side. You can consider it your dessert. But it's just something. I like plantain. I love it. So I'll just slice it like this. So if I was selling it, I would cut it like this, and then you cut it into little cubes like this. That way you can count it. So at home, we cut it like this, you know, cut it long like this. And you can make this as a baby food too, the green ones. It's a good food for babies. So I'll put a little bit of salt, just a little top bit. You can barely see it. And I'll make the oil hot and fry it. So I'll get my oil out.
My mom's just a really hard worker. She has other people along with her behind the scenes that are working just as hard as her. And so I don't think it can fail.
Her whole thing is, if God is behind her and for her, she's good. There is never a day that my sister is down about anything. She's just, God's got me. That's it. Cincinnati, Ohio, Finneytown High School. That's where I got my education from. Wonderful school, a lot of hard work, and my mother was on me constantly was on me about getting an education. You want to, do right and be a better person, because coming from Africa here, they really push us to do the best that we can.
So you see how much is there I won't break that little piece. Nah, scatter the whole thing. So put that there, put it in a sandwich bag. So then we can use it another time again.
My experience, there have been hurdles to overcome, especially in school and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's been very well. Our parents mostly encourage us to study hard. They encourage us to, get a good education. That's number one thing as an immigrant coming to the United States.
How has your experience as an immigrant coming to America been?
Well, to tell you the truth, I didn't grow up with my own parents, so there's always resistance. I don't care where, so long you're on earth. I don't know about heaven yet. But first of all, since I'm a female, my experience is quite different than a male African. You got that picture, right? Yeah, so my experience have been fair, good, yeah. Well, one good thing with this country, once I came in this country, my experience was quite different because I came in 2 weeks. I had my green card. In a month time, I was working. So another person's experience will be quite different. My green card, my social security number, everything was, so long as I started using them, it was active and everything. And then somebody else, I know so many stories where people will have to work, or maybe work in a place where they're practically hiding, even though the employer know that they don't have paper, but just to help them. And then for better turn, when things turn around for them, then you can see, like when I got my citizenship, I had that experience. The post office, I wanted to really work with the post office. I couldn't work with the post office because I was not an American citizen. So when I got my citizenship, I applied to the post office just to fulfill that. Even though I didn't want the job again, but my application, they could accept it because I was a citizen, yeah. So I think with a green card, if you don't have paper, life is difficult. And then you still have that responsibility to help your family back home. So, and then you have to live with other family members or friends if you don't have a paper, because then you cannot afford your place. Well, first of all, you cannot rent a place. Yeah. So let me taste this and make sure it tastes better. Yeah, almost there.
I think my mom inspires people to be better, to pursue the things that they want to go do, but they're kind of shy about it.
So
I've seen my mother contribute to the richness of Minnesota multiple times. Minnesota is has a lot of lakes, but it has a lot of opportunities as well. So knowing that, my mom is always making calls, as a small business owner, reaching out, and we are always involved. We're in the community, and we're a staple of the downtown farmers market. Everybody knows us there, and that's just one way we're adding to the richness of Minnesota.
if you're allergic to peanut butter, eggplant will do the same. Yeah, make it soft, tender. Okay. So you can see now the planting getting brown. And I'll just keep turning it till everyone is nice and brown the best way it can.
All of us are involved in the tea. We all love to go make it, and we're really supportive towards each other.
The tea is made out of hibiscus, and it's really good. It comes in all different types of flavors. ginger, pineapple,
Right now, my favorite flavor is the pineapple.
regular hibiscus, tangerine, unsweetened pineapple. And mom has been really trying to like switch up her game, making slushies and all that. And I floated the idea of even making ice cream, so we could see that in the future.
She tells me, well, Decanty, you know, I started out with my business and look at what God has brought me through. So anything you put your mind to, the sky is the limit. Any immigrant person out there, any immigrant children, the sky is the limit. If my sister can do it, you can do it too.
Our family, we're doing pretty good.
I don't know if you try to start your own business, but there's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of hours that you may fail, that you just gain experience, and that you gotta continue to keep on going. And I think that's the will that my mom has learned over the tea. And I think that's what I've learned and my brothers have learned, to just always keep on going no matter what.
If I wanted to do this, making this tea in like any other state, it would have been very difficult for me. But Minnesota, because they have so many immigrants here, they made it available that wherever you want to do, so long they will tell you the steps as to how to go. And if you meet the right person, like I did, as God could have it, I met the right people, and I was able to start the FAH Tea, FAH Bisab. So.
Thank you so much for watching. Join us again next week on Common Ground. If you have an idea for Common Ground in North Central Minnesota, email us at legacy@lptv.org or call 218-333-3014. To watch Common Ground online, visit lptv.org and click local shows. Episodes or segments of Common Ground, call 218-333-3020. Production funding of Common Ground was made possible in part by First National Bank Bemidji, continuing their second century of service to the community. Member FDIC. Common Ground is brought to you by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money by the vote of the people November 4th, 2008. If you watch Common Ground online, consider becoming a member or making a donation at lptv.org.